Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending our Zoom today. Great to have so many people on from all over the world, and let's tell you some of the names here in case one of your guests is here. But you should always have a phone call with your guest about 15 minutes in advance. I suggest that when you're inviting a guest, please do your best or your utmost to have them maybe attend on a computer or an iPad so they can see the full screen. Using a cell phone is fine, but too many distractions, too much social media, the ability to walk around and not focus because we have some fabulous information we believe to share with you tonight or today, because I know some of you it's in the afternoon, and I think maybe some of you it's early morning as well. Some of the names here I just can't pronounce, and it's fantastic, guys. Abosedi, welcome to the call. And you're a guest, and you're the first one with an A name. And of course, we have Adi as well in the call, and Aggie, and Ali, and Alerts, and Andrew, and the A's get me all the time. So many A's. Andy B, of course, welcome to the call, Andy. Angora's here, Anja's here. Thank you for joining, Anja. And we've also got Anto here, and Arif, of course. The great Arif from Canada is here as well. We've got Harold here as well, and Ava the Flavor is here as well. I'm just in the A's, guys. Can you imagine how many people are on this call? I can tell you we're starting to get some great traction here. Last night we had 184 today. Last night we had 188. Already we have 184 on tonight's call. So I'm not going to read all these names out. It's your job to contact your guest in advance of the call and agree to call them afterwards to answer their very valid questions. We just lost somebody. We had 184. We've now 183. I must have said something. Okay. Or maybe their connection. Sometimes people get a poor connection and it knocks them off, and they'll come back in. But with that said, I just want to go to the bottom for a moment, please, because I want to see a Zoom user here. I always like to see Zoom users. I normally have 4 or 5 Zoom users. I don't know who they are. It's quite easy, guys, to change your name. I'm way down. I'm scrolling down. I'm only down as far as STV. Yeah, you're here. Zoom users here. Zoom user in the house. Welcome to the call. One more second. I need to go and see his iPhone here. I always see iPhone. Let's go and see his iPhone in the house. Where is M? I'm going backwards now. I can't even find the eyes. E-box here. That starts with I, unless it's iBook. Is it e-book or iBook? It's in the numbers is here. Wow, what a name. It's in the numbers. It certainly is in the numbers. Anyway, let's not waste any more time. I kind of do that just to give you an idea who's in the room, and also to allow some of the latecomers just to get that last opportunity to join in. But very, very soon we will start exactly on time. We'll not put up with any of these latecomers, and we're up to 186. So well done to you guys. Now, what do I have to do to get this thing to go? I need to click here, and then I click record, and then I click to the cloud, and off we go. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for attending on this presentation. We're here to look and examine, I suppose, what's known as the Aurum Exchange, the Aurum platform, the Aurum ecosystem, a fabulous project that I came across earlier this year. And my job tonight is just to share some information with you. It's my own views, my own opinions, my own due diligence, and of course, it's very prudent for you to do your own. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you any advice. I'm not licensed to do that. I'm not an accountant or a CPA to explain how business operates. I think it's always a good idea to go and speak to a professional from that industry that you're getting involved with. It doesn't matter what business that is, whether it's a coffee shop or a hairdresser's or a taxi business. You've got to go and speak to those guys and find out some of the issues and the licensing and those type of things. And what we explain to you tonight may or may not be relevant in your country. I'm not sure what the regulation is in your country, but my job is just as an educator to give you an overview on this platform and how it's been operating. Now, the good news is we've got a real cool guy behind it. We've got Mr. Bryan Benson from California. Did his university over in Santa Barbara, and when he left university, he went straight into the banking industry, and he worked for a company over there called Dean Witter. Dean Witter, if you've heard of Dean Witter. Dean Witter was eventually bought up by Morgan Stanley, a very big brand. And Bryan was one of their top traders. He traded currencies, Forex, foreign currency, was very, very successful. When he left the bank, he moved over to a company called Binance. And again, this is a very, very large conglomerate. It's a company that came from nowhere, faster than Tesla, faster than Microsoft, faster than Apple. Binance is called one of these unicorn companies. And it didn't come with ease. It came difficult because Bryan's job, he was a director over there in Binance, very important role. And his job, because he had the language, he had the Spanish language. There's a big influence in Southern California from the Spanish language, and Bryan majored in that at university. He was able, and the right candidate with the trading background and his experience, to go and open the South American markets, the LATAM. He opened the Mexican market, which is a very big market for Binance. And he had to do the due diligence and whatever was relevant to get the company established. I believe Bryan told me himself that the Binance companies were originally in his name in Mexico, in Peru, Colombia. Where else did he open? Brazil, Chile, Argentina, those big markets. And once CZ, the CEO at that time, once he was taking over the markets, they changed to Binance company. So he had a very, very integral role and very, very important role. He saw so many people becoming millionaires and multimillionaires at those times. And now Bryan has moved to be the CEO of Aurum, and his role is to open this Aurum exchange. He's going to emulate Binance in a certain way. We cannot say it's going to be as good or better than Binance. That would be unfair, but he's certainly going to give it a good attempt. And when he worked for Binance, he got paid in what's called the BNB token. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. The BNB token was the utility coin that operated for the transaction fees on the Binance blockchain, on the BNB, the BEP20 network. And he was paid in that. That's how he got his salary. And in those days, BNB started at $0.8 cent, $0.8 cent. And now, if you check out it's over $1,100. But he's going to create the Aurum token, which will be the utility token on our exchange. And tonight, we're not going to talk so much about that. We're just giving you some kind of overview on the future. We started this presentation with a short video that showed a 10-year roadmap for the rollout of this particular opportunity. And I think having Bryan as the CEO, with his experience and his connections, it's the connections that are very, very important. You'll understand why in a moment. Now, of course, I had never heard of Bryan prior to seeing this opportunity. So I did a quick Google search, as I'm sure you will do yourself. And I typed in Bryan Benson. So please get his name right, B-R-Y-A-N, Bryan Benson. Binance is what I searched, and I clicked the images tab. Could you see here? And I was excited. I went, wow, this guy's everywhere. This is important. That it's a real person. That's a person with credibility. It's a person that's well known, a person that's been interviewed by so many people. And I've got a short clip of an interview coming up for you now. But it was also exciting to see that Forbes had written very positively about the Aurum platform. I think they've written more than once about them. I know that they had a valuation done of $100 million at one point. And it also says here that Aurum's providing institutional grade trading, and that's important. I would expect that from the likes of Bryan Benson, but institutional grade trading is a different level. I would call it a more safe, secure, less risky type of situation, because the parameters for risk are tightened based on having institutional grade money trading over there. And I believe that 70% of the volume traded with Aurum right now is not coming from customers like you and me. It's coming from the high net worth individuals, from the venture capitalists, those type of high net worth individuals, or what you might call accredited investors. So that's where the bulk of their business is happening. And very recently, they've opened the doors to people like ourselves, with a view to us populating the exchange, with a view to us being wallet holders, token holders for the Aurum token. Now, what else did we find out? Yes. What about this, guys? Little piece of plastic, but there's two names on it. One is called Aurum and the other's called, yes, one of the biggest money movers in the world, Visa. And obviously, we would expect that the issuing bank who allows these cards to go out there, have done their due diligence on this company as well. And that's very important for people like you and me, the consumers, that we, when we see Visa, we can assume that they know who the directors are. They've seen the memorandum of articles. I'm sure they have a big chunk in reserve set over there as a liquidity provider for this card. I would say, you know, they've checked out the relevant licenses. It's very, very exciting to see that already. Not in the future, right now, Aurum and this issuing bank with the Visa card is on board. And this allows you, if you're using some of their products, to withdraw to the Visa card, which gives you the flexibility to spend your money anywhere where Visa and MasterCard are accepted. There's a couple of important points I want to talk about this a little bit later, but we also have MasterCard situation as well. We have the MasterCard rails and the Visa rails on board with this particular opportunity. And then to cap it all, we learned that Bryan Benson was one of the speakers at the Token 2049 event. Now, this is the world's largest cryptocurrency or blockchain seminar on the planet. There were over 25,000 people attending. Bryan was one of the speakers alongside his buddy, Richard Tang. Now, Richard and Bryan worked together in Binance. And at that time, a guy called CZ was the CEO of Binance. And of course, when CZ moved on, Richard took the CEO role, but Bryan moved over here. Now he's the CEO of Binance. But it's interesting to see that these two buddies now were major speakers at this event, and that was not so long ago. So that was quite good. And I also got the feeling that here we have a company that's not afraid to be exposed, a company that's presenting itself in front of 25,000, let's call them crypto experts, who would attend an event like this. And they had a stand there, and by all reports, it was exceptional. In fact, I heard that on the last day, people were paying $1,400 to get a ticket to get into this event. So, I mean, I wouldn't pay it for the best band in the world to go see them. And hey, we're paying $1,400 to go in and see this man and others talking about AI, cryptocurrency, trading exchanges. And they were putting themselves out there to find liquidity providers for their exchange. And that's coming up very, very soon. Now, when we look into the future, they have got plans on board to introduce this POS terminal. POS stands for Point of Sale Terminal. You're familiar with these around the shops and merchants around the world. But this device, based on the Aurum platform, will be tied into this new Aurum Neo Bank. You'll be able to use fiat currency here and cryptocurrency, pay for your goods with this kind of device. So this is part of the bigger ecosystem, as is these ATM machines. Now, what's different about these ATM machines? These are called two-way ATM machines. What's two-way mean? Well, let's suggest you have some dollars or some euro or some pounds, and you insert the cash into these machines. It can populate your wallet with cryptocurrency. You convert cash to crypto. But also, what we're more familiar with is we go up to the machine and we want to withdraw the cash. How does that work? Well, let's say you had USDT on your account, your cryptocurrency account, and you go, okay, I want $200. You create a QR code for $200. You scan it on the ATM machine. It reads this $200, and you get the cash out. So it's a two-way, money in and money out system. So this is part of their bigger system. On top of that, they've got this new product that they're going to launch when the exchange goes live, where you can put your cryptos without risk and without trading. Yes, lots of people don't even want to trade. So if you had a little bit of Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP or USDT just sitting about on an exchange doing nothing, here you can stake it. And you get annual yields of somewhere between 17 and 20%. Now think about that, between 17 and 20% annually. That beats the bank. That beats property and real estate. That beats gold. For traditional business owners to park their asset up without trading it. And here's the good news, guys. There's no lock-in on this. If you wanted to do it for a day, you can do it for a day. If you want to do it for a week or a month, you can do it for a month. So there's no term deployment of your capital. But here, these assets can earn you an annual yield. A very, very nice product, guys, for those that don't want necessarily to trade. Now, let's hear from Bryan Benson himself. How's that? Bryan has been interviewed many, many times. I've listened to, I suppose, 3 or 4 different ones, but I've just taken a short snapshot of the purpose of what he's trying to do here. He wants to create another billion-dollar business, just like he did over in Binance. I mean, he was a big part of their success in the early days, and he wants to do and emulate that again if he can over here at Aurum. But he also says in this that he wants to create 1,000 millionaires. Now, isn't that interesting? 1,000 millionaires. So let's have a listen to him and see, can you find a visionary leadership inside this with comments like this?
I think if I have to sum it up in one word, it's ecosystem. At Aurum, we're building an ecosystem, and we're really trying to focus on getting this thing to a unicorn status. And what I like to say is we want to create 1,000 millionaires. And so if we can do that, then that will be a billion-dollar business. That will be a unicorn, and we'll be very excited if we can accomplish that. And we're well on our way to that. So
there you go. Rumors are he's already created 1 millionaire so far in a very short period, and there's 999 places left. So that's up to you to roll up your sleeves if you get behind his vision, if you get behind his products, and there's certainly an opportunity for some people out there to do remarkably well with this opportunity. Imagine you could go back and wind the clock back to the beginning of Bitcoin and get Bitcoin at 10 cents or $1 or $3 or $30 or $100. Imagine you could go back and get BNB at 8 cents when it launched, or 10 cents or 30 cents when it's now $1,100. So the BNB, if that's emulated here with the Aurum token, I believe there's an opportunity in the future with this gentleman. That's my own views, of course. You're entitled to formulate your own views. Now, to get involved in the platform is not free. Here's the good news. It costs $20 for the year, just $19.99 US dollars. Think about this, guys. What business on the planet could you start for $20? Really, think about it. With no rent, no rates, no mortgage, no loan, no products to develop, no staff, no employees, no insurance, no deliveries. For $20, you've got an international fintech business that allows you to avail of all of their products, except this card that I'm going to talk about later, because there's a very special card you're going to find out in a moment. Now, let's talk about some of the products. My favorite product is the EXI bot. What do I like about this? I like the fact that it's the best producing bot. I also like the fact that it's been around for over 2 years, 2.5 years almost. And it's doing on average about 17.5% a month. Okay. The worst month achieved was 9%. The best month was 23%. In around the middle, you're talking about 17.5% per month, not per year, per month. That's exceptional. Now, you and I is not going to get that 17.5%, but I'm going to show you what is available. At this point in time on the screen, you can see on the 14th of October this year, 2025, there was just less than $44 million in this one bot. Now, they have 5 or 6 bots. This is just one. They have over $44 million. I've learned recently that it's now surpassed $50 million already. So there's a massive amount of uptake with this particular product. Very, very exciting product. Now, depending on what you deposit in your own account will determine the reward that you'll achieve. Okay, so think of this like a bank account. It's the new Neo Bank. That's what they're calling it, the Neo Bank. And you create an account over at that bank and you deposit, let's say, $106 or $127. We'll make a number up, right? That $127 is going to fall into the first category, and those customers will benefit to the tune of about 10% a month. Now, these aren't fixed numbers. These are moving numbers because you can't predict the future. But on average, in the term that has already been trading, it's realizing about 10% a month. So that's pretty cool. Now, for those of you that could manage more than that, let's say you were able to do, I'll make this up, $446. Well, that's going to fall into the second category. Can you see that? And those customers will benefit at the tune of about 11% a month. And as it goes up, let's say you could do $1,904, you'll fall into the third category, you'll get 12%, et cetera, et cetera. Therefore, the higher the deposit you make into your own account, the better the reward you get from the product. Now, there's 2 things I want to talk about here. Number one, let's say you start at a lower category and you'd like to get a higher benefit. How would you do that? There's 2 ways. The first way is to allow the account to compound and trade up. So let's say you had $240 as a deposit, and then 2 or 3 weeks later you logged in and it was at $272. you would be benefiting at 11% because your account has traded its way up to the second category by trading. The other way you could do it is you could actually make a top-up deposit. So maybe at the end of the month when money's plentiful, or maybe it's the beginning of the month for you, or maybe it's never never plentiful, but when you have some extra money to put onto the account, you could top it up to a higher level, if you understand that. And that's pretty good. And the other thing that's important, guys, is the company's always making money as well. We need a company to be around, to be strong. So therefore, for those customers enjoying 10%, the company benefits to the tune of 7%. It's getting the spread. It's getting the difference between the average trading of about 17.5% a month. They're getting that difference. For those getting 11%, the company gets 6. For those getting 12, the company gets 5. For those that are trading getting 13%, the company still makes 4% on those accounts. So the company's always winning. And in fact, the bulk of the customers, we believe, will probably be at the lower end, somewhere between $100 and $4,999. That's probably where the mass customer base will lie. And that's where the company makes its most money, funny enough. They said the larger customer has less customer support required for a larger customer, and they get a better benefit. So with that said, that's really the first product. Good news is you can take out your profit any day you wish. You could actually take it out multiple times a day, I suppose. No, maybe you couldn't because it wouldn't have generated enough, but certainly you can take out your profits every day. And the withdrawal fees, just to note, are 1% plus $1. Quite good. Now they have different bots doing different things, and it's down to what's important to you, to your own portfolio. You have to decide that. This one has a certain amount of parameters and rules around it, but there are others have a different set of rules, and you can learn that from our trainings. You can learn that from the person that invited you. But I want to show you a typical customer account. This customer was happy to share this with us. The account was started on the 17th of April this year. You can see that on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, at the bottom right, I'd like the new people to take a quick look down there. It says the 17th of September. So what we're looking at here is a 5-month trading period. And this account has gone from a $500 deposit to $882 in those 5 months. Now, you've got to ask yourself, is that good? Is that bad? Is that reasonable? Is that too much? Or is it not enough? What do you think? You started with 500, you've 882, you've made $382. Well, I'm going to tell you something. That's exceptional. And here's why. If you bought a property at $100,000, you probably would expect that property to grow at a rate of about 10% a year. Well, this account has done 76% in 5 months. And how you calculate that, guys, is you take the profit element, which is 382. You set that over the top of the 500 deposit. You divide one into the other. You multiply it by 100%. You come up with your answer, 76%. That's the same as buying a property on the 17th of April for $100,000 and selling it on the 17th of September, 5 months later, for $176,400. Is that good business? Well, that's this product, isn't it sensational? Now, for those you have got larger deposits, maybe you know a customer that might enjoy this. We have a larger account here. This one was started on the 10th of April. It ends in, you can see the account number here. It ends in 1972. Can you see that? B3441972. Started on the 10th of April with $10,000. And if we go to the right-hand corner, guys, we can see that this snapshot from this account was taken on the 16th of May at 10:23 p.m. I'm not sure is that AM or PM, doesn't matter. Okay, it was taken on the 16th of May. The account was started on the 10th of April. Well, that represents 5 weeks, okay? It's a day short of 5 weeks. How has the account done? The $10,000 after 5 weeks is now $12,360. I think that's sensational. That's 23% in 5 weeks. How did the account look like after 10 weeks? Well, here it is. On the 24th of June at 1:38, the account was standing at $15,500. The 10,000 is now 15.5 after 10 short weeks. That's 55%. If you were to take that out on a weekly basis, the profit, you're looking at what, $550 a week? Incredible. And if we look at the 10th of July, we can see the account has grown to $17,000. That's 74%. And this particular account doubled in 4 months. I'm not going to say yours is doubling because past performance is not indicative of future results, because there's a number of parameters here we need to look at. The first thing is, did your account start with the same amount, or was it less, or was it more? The second thing is, this account, we can see the customer has chosen to compound. They've chosen to reinvest the profit. What does that mean? Well, here's what it means. When you fund your account, this reinvestment button is not engaged. It's not turned on, and the company won't do that for you. That's your prerogative. That's your obligation to go and find that button if you wish to do this, and you slide it to the right to get it to reinvest. What does it mean? It means instead of your profit being arranged today to go out to your wallet for a withdrawal, you're opting to allow the profit to stay inside Binance. Okay, so let's say you're trading on Binance, the deposit's there, but the daily profit rolls up as a compounding amount. So the principal and profit are trading together. That's what this means. And if you understand the power of compounding, go and Google it, go and YouTube it. It's sensational, and that's why this account has in particularly done so well. It has doubled itself in just 4 short months, and lots of people are excited about this type of product. Now, of course, if you have a lower deposit, you're not going to do it. It's not going to be like this. It's going to be much less. And if you have a larger deposit, I'm not sure if it's going to be much more. But this customer is certainly very, very satisfied with 100% returns in just 4 months. Okay, with that said, we can now look at this account as of the 26th of October. Can you see here? 26th of October. I'd just like to go back and show you. This here screenshot was taken on the 10th of August. September, October, 2 months later, this same account ending in 1972, commenced on the 10th of April, is showing $31,000 now. It's made another 10,000 since that in 2 months. It's exceptional. The $500 account you can see is just above it. Well, it's not $500 anymore, nor is it 882, which we calculated earlier. This account is sitting up now at $1,000, just slightly over $1,000. So the 500 has doubled. From the 17th of April, May, June, July, August, September, there's 5 months. October, 6 months. Not bad. And I can see some other deposits they've made here as well, but we were featuring those two transactions. So that's the first product. I think it's the product that most people focus on. It's very simple. If you'd like to try that, get back to the person that shared this link with you, get your affiliate link, get set up, and you could be making profits as soon as tomorrow. If you make the decision today and get funded before midnight, you could be making profits tomorrow. If you want to think about it overnight, well, then that's not going to happen. It'll probably be the day after. So that's that. Now, I said they have a few other bots as well. That's just one. They have a sister bot to that, what we looked at, called the Pro bot. You'll find that over in Telegram, and they have this other bot that trades 5 currency pairs, 5 crypto pairs, called the Zeus bot. We'll take a quick look at one of those just while we're here. So what you do is to get involved here is you go to Telegram. Now, Telegram is a decentralized communication portal, just like WhatsApp. I'm not a big fan of Telegram, but I'm starting to use it now. But if you go over there, instead of searching for somebody's name, just search for the bank itself. So you type in Aurum Neo Bank. You should find it over there. I found it. Everybody finds it over there. You press open the application, and the mini app opens up on Telegram, and you can log into it with the same credentials you had for your main account. And then in here, this is where you order your Visa card. But right now we want to talk about the Zeus bot. So how does it work? Well, if you've got a little bit of Bitcoin or a little bit of Ethereum or a little bit of, I don't know, BNB sitting on a platform, it's maybe sitting on an exchange, you opened an account years ago and you don't use it anymore. It's just sitting there doing nothing except moving up and down with the value of the market. Well, how about growing that BNB? Or how about growing that Bitcoin or Ethereum? So that's the ability over here with the Zeus bot. So if we look here, we can see that this bot had been trading for 14 hours. The trading period was 14 hours and 59 minutes. Over here, you'll also see the opening price of the trade, the closing price of the trade. You'll see the profit and loss, the spread, and there's a hyperlink inside the data here that pulls you to the exchange. It'll bring you to Binance or OKX or Crack, wherever it is you're trading. It'll pull you over there and show you. In this case, it would be Bitcoin versus the dollar trading platform. Now, I can tell you that this account was funded on the 31st of May this year with 0.7. When we're looking at the screen here, you can see 0.81. That's because the bot, the AI, has done the work, starting to build. A lot of nice trades here. It probably does only about 5 or 6 trades a day, I would guess. I used to look at it more often, but I'm thinking it's doing about 5 or 6 trades a day, and it's made its way up to from 0.7 to 0.81, but it didn't finish there, guys. It went from 0.81 to 0.82, up to 0.84, 0.88. It went over 0.9 to 9.1. It continued to 0.93. It went up to 0.96, then 0.99, and then it went all the way to a full Bitcoin. Imagine taking 3/4 of a Bitcoin and bringing it all the way to a Bitcoin without knowing how to trade. Yeah, without knowing how to trade, without any experience. This AI, which is changing the world, guys. It's AI can do like 10,000 decisions in a split second. Faster than humans without any emotion. It's really, you're familiar with Chat GPT. I mean, you just type something in there, it has the answer like that. Same here. It's pulling in all the data from all the different exchanges, from all the social media platforms, from all the news channels. It's got its own risk management pre-built in, but it's also overseen by real life traders as well, and that's important as well. So these accounts can disconnect immediately. There's any extraordinary or black swan events, they can be disconnected very, very sharply. And there was a turn in the market in beginning of October. I think about the 10th of October 25. There was a big downturn in the market, and these bots were able to disengage or go in and take a profit when the currencies were dropping. So if it can get past that, I believe we've got a great product here. Just to work out the profit here, let's just see what that was. So it started with 0.7. It's sitting at 1 Bitcoin. So the profit is 0.3. Let's check that out. How much is 0.3 Bitcoin in US dollars, please?
0.3 Bitcoins is 32,082 US dollars and 60 cents.
Okay, so this customer has earned $32,000 without knowing anything about trading, with making money when they sleep, making money when they're at work, making money when they're having their lunch, making money when they're watching television. This bot trades for you by the AI. That's exceptional. $32,000 without introducing a customer, without attending a Zoom. That's the potential. And you can start with as little as $100 worth of Bitcoin. So a really good product over there too, I believe. We have other customers doing bigger stuff. Here's a customer been owning a Bitcoin. Here's another one, did 2.75 Bitcoin. That's nearly $300,000, I would assume. But it's not 2.75 anymore. And it's not 2.81 anymore. It's 2.9 and growing. So these are great products, I believe. Again, if you're not even familiar with the industry, get some professional advice before you test these things out. And if you like them, give it a shot and see how it goes for you. Now, my last thing I want to talk about is this card that I've been mentioning. It is Google Pay, Apple Pay enabled. Presently, it doesn't require any KYC. Legislation could change in the future. It depends where the card's issued from. It depends on your country. I don't know the regulations in your country. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here only to share the information with you. But this card requires no driving license, no passport, no utility bill. We don't even need your name on the card. You can put up to $100,000 in a month on it. If you need more than that, and some customers do, believe it or not, then you must KYC. Okay, so this is one version of the card. We have another version which does require KYC. So our customers will have options: those that prefer the KYC route, and of course those that don't. Same with our exchange. We will have a centralized exchange that will require KYC, but we'll also have a decentralized exchange that will not require KYC. So here's a company that's offering options, that's offering choices and choice of product, and because everybody's different, everybody has their own goals and ambitions and their own game plan to get their money to work for them. The loading fee here you can see is 2.2%, but that stays with the community. That's brilliant. It doesn't go to Visa. It does go to Aurum, but Aurum put that back into the community in their affiliate program. This card will also in the future be able to offer up to 10% cash back. Some merchants may only be able to provide 1%, 2%, or 3%. Some other merchants that would have larger margins in their product will be able to offer us 10% cash back when we use this product. And also they're going to build in some other loyalty rewards, such as, for instance, if you're at the airport and you had the black card, possibly you might be able to get into the VIP lounge before your flight and stuff like that. Those type of things are all going to be developed. So I see a very progressive, forward-looking company with a great ecosystem. You can stop the bot and put the money on the card. You don't have to put the money on the card. You can take it to any other wallet. There's a lot of things going on here, a lot of moving parts, and it's operating fantastically. And as I said, we also have a MasterCard version. The cards will start as little as $33 with no monthly fees. $33 one time off for the small card. The next one is $66. Then there's a $99 one, but the one I'm going to feature is the Infinity card at $249. $150 off that $249 goes back into the affiliate program. So if you were to share this with someone, you can make up to $150 for every card you give away. You also can get paid anytime one of your customers uses this card. Let's pretend you thought this was a good idea and you told 3 people about it, and one of them goes and has coffee tomorrow morning and you got paid. Is that a good deal? And then the other one goes to the gas station or the petrol station to fill up their car and you got paid. Is that a good idea? And then the third customer went for something to eat and paid with a card and you made money. Is that a good deal? So for a one-time recommendation, imagine you got paid for life every time those customers spend money. What if we could teach the customer to pay the groceries, 200, 300, 400 a week on this card, and you got paid every time they bought groceries? What if you got paid when they withdrew money from the ATM machine? Is that a good idea? Well, come and find out more about how you can get involved with putting this card into the hands of the people. You could build a customer base of 2 customers, 20 customers, 200, 2,000, 20,000, 200,000, and get rewarded as each of these customers spend money. Here's one of my customers. This was the second time he ever used it. He was sent to the shop to get some milk. And what John did was he had money trading in his bot and he wanted to take that money out. So what did he do? He said, top up card. So he stopped the bot, topped up his card. Off he went to the shop with USDT cryptocurrency and he bought himself some milk.
Here we go then, second official transaction.
No, purple and white. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Mina.
There you go. Imagine spending cryptocurrency in a predominantly fiat world. So this works anywhere, Visa, MasterCard. It's been tested in I don't know how many countries around the world. It's absolutely sensational. And it also works at the ATM machines if you've got the physical card. And we know people are having great fun taking out cryptocurrency in fiat currency through the ATM machines. So that's our presentation over today, guys. We've probably taken, I don't know, 30 minutes of your day. We just wanted to share those few things about you and about this company. We talked about Bryan Benson from Binance. We talked about his history and his success in trading. We talked about his role here at Aurum. He's building this new exchange. We've actually seen some of the transactions already. That should go live possibly by the end of this year, but certainly I would guess by the launch. And we're in pre-launch, remember. The timing couldn't be any better for you to get involved in this pre-launch. They have a pre-launch so they can iron out any wrinkles, any issues, any problems, testing the cards, testing the payment processors, testing the trading bots. All of those things are going on right now before the full launch in January. And with that said, that is our presentation over. I want to thank all of you for attending. I appreciate your time. Please do get back to the person that shared this with you and get your very valid questions answered. And I wish you every success in whatever decision you come up with. Thank you and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye. Now that that's done, I see we have 194 people. While there must have been some people coming on when I was talking. I think that was 180 something a while ago. 193. We've lost another one. We have an affiliate program as well, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not for everybody. It's not necessary to share this with anybody, but there is great opportunities for those of you that like this idea, that might think it's a good idea to share with people. And if that was the case, I'd like to take another 5 minutes of your time just to run that past you. If you're only a customer and you've seen what you wanted to see, the cards and the bots and making money, you can go now. That's your part done. But for those of you that are interested in building a home-based business, without any overheads, okay, you need an internet connection. You need $20 to start your business, but Imagine having a massive fintech business all over the world for $20. I mean, it's really, really good. So let's talk about the affiliate program. Well, thank you again for joining us on this shorter presentation. We're here to look at the Aurum partner program or affiliate program. Now, affiliate programs, ladies and gentlemen, are very, very popular. Most retailers are now engaging in an affiliate program of one sort or another. Companies like Apple or have affiliate programs. So if you go to the bottom of their website, you can join the Apple affiliate program for free. And if you felt that their products were good and you recommended them, you can get rewards and bonuses coming from Apple for your recommendation. And lots of companies are using this model now. Aurum's going to adopt this as well. And the idea is that they don't spend money on TV or radio or magazines. I mean, there's lots of companies, even these cryptocurrency companies, advertising on the Super Bowl. And it's probably the biggest sporting event in the world. I don't know what it might cost for an advert on that, but you get 30 seconds for $100,000, something like that, or crazy, millions of dollars. Aurum have decided that, a TV commercial of 30 seconds can't explain its business. It takes 30 minutes at least. So in that regard, they're not going to pay television. They're not going to pay the advertisers. They're going to pay you. You see, the new way of advertising is Google ads and Facebook ads, and you pay per click, and you actually, there's a whole way that businesses are now, if you've ever typed something into Google and all of a sudden you start seeing these adverts, there's algorithms working in the background, and by you clicking on that, somebody gets paid. There's a whole load of things going on. But what happens with Aurum is they want to reward their customers. They're happy customers promoting their services. They believe that's where the money should be spent. And that's why we have this partner program. They have 15 ranks. This is not multi-level, guys. Don't be thinking this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 levels or 10 levels. None of that nonsense. This is all levels. This is volume-based. And these are ranks, not levels, okay? And I want you to think of these ranks like, imagine you worked in a shop and the boss tapped you on the shoulder and said, "Hey, you're doing a great job. We've been looking at you here this last 8 months. We would like to promote you to supervisor. And with that comes a pay rise. Would you be happy to take on that position?" You go, "Absolutely, boss. Thank you very much." So that's like going from Nova to Voyager. It's a pay rise. Or maybe a year and a half later, the boss goes, "Hey, you're working here a year and a half. We've noticed you. This part of the shop does very, very well. It's always clean and tidy. You're great with our customers. There's a position going as manager. We'd like to promote you. And it comes with a pay rise. Would you be interested?" And you become manager. And then 3 years into that career, you become area manager, governing a number of shops. And then you become a director. That's what we call those rank advancements in career. We have the same here. It's rank advancement. But here's the good news, guys. The boss doesn't tap you on the shoulder. Bryan Benson doesn't go, "Hey, great job. Would you like a pay rise?" No, no. You dictate the day you get the pay rise. You could get a pay rise tomorrow in this business, and the next day if you wished, and after the first month, and in the middle of the third month, and on the fourth month. It's up to you. So let me show you how it works. It's very, very simple, actually. Everybody starts as what's called Nova. Nova means new. A new star in the sky is called the Nova Star, right? You're the new star in our business. And if you bring a customer, you're entitled to 3% reward on the deposit they make to the EXI bot. Okay, so the customer might make $100 deposit. So what you're going to get? You're going to get a little $3. It's a thank you bonus. We didn't have to spend this on radio, TV, or Google ads. You're getting the $3 because you referred the customer. Thank you so much for that. So it's a thank you bonus. The only rule is this, that you must have an account yourself. Okay, and that's because Bryan Benson doesn't want people promoting his products and services unless they're existing happy customers. All right. Now, if you want a pay rise, you need to accumulate $7,500 of total team trading. Now, that's just your customers and their customers and their customers and their, doesn't matter how many. You might only have one customer, and that customer might have 3 or 4 customers. When the total trading volume in that EXI bot reaches $7,500 in trading, you get a pay rise. You're called Voyager. That's your rank. You get a pay rise to 5% instead of 3% that you were getting. Okay. Now, if one of your customers subsequently introduced a customer, they get the 3, you get an override, you get 2. So it's the differential between where you're coded and where your customer's coded, you get an override. On your own customers, you get 5%, but on some of theirs, you're only going to get 2% because they're getting the 3. They don't pay out any more than 5%. Now, here's the good news. You get all your money back as well. That's right. In this example where we talked about depositing $100, the company give you back that $100. And you can do 4 things with it. The first thing you can do with it is, I don't know, withdraw it to a wallet of your choice, a USDT wallet of your choice. The second thing you could do is put it onto the card and go spend it. The third thing you could do is you could add it to the bot. Okay, so you have 100 in there trading. You say, well, you know what? I'll add that in there and let that go to work for me as well. And the fourth thing you could do is do nothing. That's the 4 things you could do. But there's another bonus, and a very important bonus. In addition to getting your money back, in addition to getting the 5% pay rise, you now get 5% every day. This is a daily matching bonus on the profits of the entire team trading volume. And what's interesting about this, ladies and gentlemen, is let's say you only had $100 trading and one of your customers decided to trade Bitcoin. They put in Bitcoin to the Zeus bot. You don't even have the Zeus bot. You don't have any Bitcoin. But every day as that customer gets rewards over in Zeus bot, you're getting a 5% matching bonus paid in Bitcoin to you. So now you're building Bitcoin. What if another customer decides, well, here, I have some BNB sitting on Binance. It's doing nothing. I want to put that into the Zeus bot. Well, every day as that trades, when that customer gets paid, you get a 5% matching bonus paid to you in BNB. So here you can build a portfolio of coins you maybe never had before, or maybe you did and you want some more. So very, very nice 5% matching bonus. Of course, if you want a pay rise, you decide when you get that pay rise, because all you need to do is accumulate $25,000 in total team trading volume inside that EXI bot, and then you get 7% on all your personal customer deposits. If one of your customers finds a customer, they're Novas, they get 3, you get the differential, you get 4% on those guys, okay? And you get a 500 cash bonus, and now you get 7.5% every single day on the trading volume of all your customers. Guys, I don't need to tell you much more in an overview of a compensation plan, but even if you don't understand it, I can tell you the software does. It's a bit like your car. You may not understand how the fuel gets from the tank all the way up through the center of the car, up into the engine to do all the magic in there, but yet no, that car can get you from A to B. This vehicle can get you from where you are financially today to where you would like to be. So to get higher ranks, it's just more volume, bigger payouts. It's just exceptional. And that's only 7 of the ranks. Do you remember Bryan Benson said he wants to create 1,000 millionaires? How would you do that? Okay, if you follow the rank system, you go Elite, Magnet, Mythos, Legend, Dominion. If you reach the rank of Dominion, you get a $500,000 cash bonus. You would have previously received 150 and 100 and a 50 and a 20 and all those other bonuses, like there's $820,000. I have no doubt that if you roll your sleeves up and go to work and build this out with Bryan Benson and reach this rank of Dominion, I've no doubt you will be one of Bryan Benson's millionaires. So that's our presentation over for tonight. I want to thank everybody for giving us that extra time. And I wish you every success in whatever decision you come to. Please do your due diligence, okay? Check with a professional if you're getting involved in this industry, you don't have any experience about it. Find a mentor, attend the training, and do what's right for you and your family. So with that said, I want to thank everybody again. Have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, rest of the year, and I wish you every success. Thanks and good night.